How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some absolutely outrageous spice in the Element Cup. And first of all, I want to clarify this right off the bat. This team is really bad, guys. I know that oftentimes I say, this team is spicy, and for some reason people still seem to think that maybe they should use this team. So I'm just going to tell you right now, do not use this team. All three of these mons are rated very poorly on PvPoke. And just to prove it to you, we're going to pull this up now and let you guys take a look for yourselves. So let's bring up the window here. And there's our PvPoke spread there, the top 500. Not even 500 cups or mons in this cup here. But let's just show you here how bad these mons are. So there's our lit backline there, the Litwick and the Litleo. 68.6 rating and 61.1, which is really bad. And we're actually not even running the recommended moveset on the Litleo either. And then we're going to go down even further to our Voltorb, and it is rated 53.3, and the actual rating of the mon is 131. It's like nearly, if you actually look at the full list, Voltorb is actually one of the worst mons in this entire cup. It's like very near the bottom, just above stuff like Magikarp and Feebas. So really bad. Actually loses to Ducklett in the one shield as well if you get baited, which is really embarrassing. So yeah, don't use this team. I did actually have some okay success with it. I definitely did lose a little bit of elo, but the reason I had some success with it is because this team is designed to specifically counter the Ducklett double grass line, which is very common. And I really think the mon that makes this team work is the Litwick, and the reason for that is the sub ghost typing on it allows it to fully wall basically all the common grass types that use the body slam as their coverage, as well as things like Vulpix and Tepig that have fire and normal type moves. We just completely wall all the fast moves and all the charge moves. So that allows you to, if the opponent safe switches into a grass or fire type, you can bring in the Litwick and fully take it out without even having to commit a shield in most cases. So that gives it some very niche play, despite the fact that it has terrible moves and is very glassy. And then the Litleo on the team with Tackle, despite the fact that we're supposed to be running Incinerate, the tackles are actually stabbed due to that sub-normal typing, and that allows us to surprise some things on the safe switch if we do lose the lead. So you guys are going to see some pretty crazy battles. Again, do not use this team, but yeah, let's just get right into it here. And as we're getting into it, by the way, I actually used an even spicier team last night and actually went back up to the 2700s with that team, and I will be sending those battles over to CallumOnToast, so make sure you keep your eyes open for those. And in the first battle, we have the Ducklett lead, exactly what we're looking for, and unfortunately the opponent here brings in a Shadow Execute, and Shadow Execute is one of the grass types, unfortunately, that you do have to commit a shield on the Litwick to maintain switch, because that Ancient Power would definitely be probably one-shotting us from full health. So we do keep switch. The opponent, I know the opponent's switch clock is not up here, so I'm going to throw my Flame Charge. They're probably going to just fully farm me down, which is a little unfortunate, but I'm actually going to be bringing in the Voltorb right away because they're still switch locked in here. So I will commit my last shield. I'm down a shield, so I'm fully expecting them not to bait, and they don't bait, so I am now down 2 shields, but again, their switch clock was not up, so we fully farmed them down, and they have a Cottony in the back, which is not great. I should have thrown the energy ball here. They're both the same energy. I could have gotten that rare defense drop, but either way, we're actually going to be okay here, because all we have to do is get enough tackle damage off on this thing and get their last shield, and then we should actually be able to take them out with another move from the Voltorb here. So they're still pretty healthy, but Voltorb is extremely glassy, which means it hits incredibly hard. So we are just barely going to make the move here, and in live time, I was expecting this to be a loss, but as you're going to see, Voltorb actually takes out the Cottony there with a resisted move, and that's a GG. So tough game in game 1 there. Unfortunately, it was Ducklett double grass, but it was not the common grass mons that get walled by the Litwick. And in the next battle here, we have a Slugma, which is one of the worst leagues you can see. This thing beats our entire team. So what I have to do here is get a shield, and then I'm just going to have to bring in the Litleo, and these rock throws here are going to do so much damage to us, but we were going to get fully farmed down if we stayed in the lead there, and fortunately they actually do switch out, but they have another rock type fast move user in Clauncher, And at this point, I was just like, well, this game's over. They've got Smackdown here, and my only hope here to win this game is if somehow this poor Voltorb can get to a move here. But as you're going to see, it looks like they actually are going to farm us down, but the opponent makes a massive mistake here. He actually throws energy. He wanted to get my last shield, but this allows me to sneak through a charge beam, and I actually do make the move. Unfortunately, the Slugma is still fairly healthy, but the opponent is still switch locked, and they bring in their Shadow Oddish. We fully farm down. We flame charge the Slugma as it comes back in. Their switch clock was just coming up, and now we're going to farm down the Oddish in the back. And the opponent, they're just completely through that game. We beat a double rock-type fast move user somehow with 2 fire types and a very bad Voltorb, so crazy win in that battle. We have a Shadow Execute here the next game, and we're going to be losing the lead there, so we switch into the Litleo. Those confusions just do so much damage, and the opponent actually has a Shadow Carvanha, so super cool spice finally by an opponent, but fortunately we're just barely able to get to a move, and we get a shield there. And now I'm really hoping I can farm down, and I do just barely farm down, so we're up a shield. We are very low, but I should be able to get a Thunderbolt off on the Execute here if it comes back in, and they actually come in with a Pharaoh Seed, and they are ABA weak to fire, and I throw the wrong move there again, but it does not matter because Litwick here is about to feast on this back line. This is double super effective Ember damage, and I can very easily just shield and just Ember my way through their entire team. So opponent, if you're going to run a Shadow Grass type on the lead, you probably shouldn't run something that's double weak to fire in the back, as Litwick just shreds their entire back line there. And that's another GG. So, as you're seeing, yeah, the team not great, but we are somehow pulling off some wins. Chikorita lead there, another really bad lead. The Voltorb basically loses to all grass types. And the opponent brings in a Chinchou. And this is where you're going to see that Litleo is actually kind of a beast, because after Bubble Beaming here and me no-shielding, opponents typically think that they're pretty safe to let this move go, but those stab tackles just do so much that we're actually able to flip switch on a Chinchou, and now we have Litwick into Chikorita, and again, Chikorita is completely walled, all of their fast moves and charge moves, and the opponent just rage quits there, and you love to see it. So finally, we get a good lead here. The Chinchou is actually one of the few things that the Voltorb beats, and the opponent brings in a Ducklett here, and they do actually get to the Brave Bird on CMP, but if I can get a shield here, which I do, I am fully happy to just let the Voltorb go down, and I always like to call the Bubble Beams anyway, because they always Bubble Beam, guys. Opponents just love their debuff moves, and again, I absolutely do not care if they Brave Bird me here. Go ahead and Brave Bird me, opponent, and they don't. We call another Bubble Beam bait. And I was getting pretty low there. I was worried I was going to get farmed down. So I'm just going to bring in the Litleo here. And the opponent is going to send the Bubble Beam there. I do not care about Bubble Beams. I just do not like to shield Bubble Beams, guys. I let that go. I'm still up 2-1 shields. The opponent is going to bring back in their Chinchou. But again, despite the fact that we're debuffed, the Crunch does do quite a bit of damage. And those tackles put a lot of pressure on the Chinchou. We get that thing very, very low. And again, the Voltorb is just such a wall to this thing that I'm just going to bring it in here and no shield whatever they throw. And unless they want to Thunderbolt me here, I think I will actually live a Bubble Beam. So I do actually call it. The opponent finally doesn't bait, but now we have a 2-shield Litleo, and they've already shown, or a 2-shield Litwick, and the opponent's already shown me that they have 2 water types, so I'm fully expecting there to be something in the back that loses to the Litwick. And sure enough, they've got a Vulpix in the back. And like I said in the intro, guys, this thing fully walls almost all the fire types in this meta, because no matter what they throw here, whether it's a Body Slam or a Weather Ball, it's going to be resisted. And here I actually nearly throw the game here, but the reason I don't throw that Flame Charge is because I spent 75,000 Stardust on the move Flame Burst as a second move, which is just an absolutely terrible move. There's virtually no reason that you would ever need it, but I was like, you know what? I am winning this game with a Flame Burst, so I actually almost sacrificed that win there just to land the Flame Burst on the Vulpix, and I do end up winning, but that was very close. So another good lead here. I was expecting the opponent to try to catch since they were staying in, and I do hold on to my energy, and now this Vulpix has to take a Thunderbolt to the face, and that does so much damage. And I farm up there, and I catch what hopefully is going to be a Weather Ball, but it's even better. It's actually a Body Slam. The opponent went for the Body Slam for some reason, and that's double resisted damage on the Litwick. And now the opponent is going to bring back in the Chinchou, but again, I just do not care about Bubble Beams. I will absolutely not be shielding a Bubble Beam. And what you're going to see is Bubble Beam doesn't do too much. And after this Flame Charge, the Embers are going to do enough damage to where the opponent's going to be forced to actually throw some energy. So they throw, which is completely perfect. And again, you guys are seeing that the Litwick is just a very nice fire type because it can come in and take matches without having to use shields. And the opponent has a Ducklett in the back, so they're fully core broken here by the Voltorb. And I think do I no shield this? No, I think I do actually shield this Bubble Beam, just because I know my Charge Beams are going to do so much damage here. And even if the opponent takes me out, I will have the Litleo in the back. So I actually decided to catch here. I didn't want them to farm me down. And now I should actually just be able to fully tackle down this Ducklett, which is crazy. Fire type tackling down the Duck. And we're going to make the crunch on the CMP tie here. And I believe I did bank a charge move on the Voltorb. And the opponent's forced to shield. And even if I didn't have a shield here, it would not matter because Voltorb is going to be winning CMP against pretty much everything in this cup. So we've got the move banked. We're going for the Thunderbolt BM. And that's going to be a GG. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these battles so far. I know this cup is really, really boring. It's just like the same 10 mons on every team, basically. There's really, maybe even less than 10 mons in the meta. Maybe like 5 or 6 mons in the meta. It's just the same stuff. As you see, this time it is exactly the team we're looking for. Ducklett lead, and they bring in a Chikorita, and every single move they throw, guys, is going to be resisted. Double resisted body slam there. We tank it like it's nothing. And we should be able to do enough damage here with this Flame Charge and Ember damage that we should actually force this Ducklett again to throw some energy. So this is, again, Litwick, just super, super strong. If there's one mon on this team that might be worth building, it's going to be the Litwick, just because you can just come into those matchups where, like, if I came in with a Vulpix to that Shadow Chikorita and I'm not fast enough and they make it to 2 body slams, I'm going to be forced to commit a shield because the Shadow Body Slams are no joke against some normal fire type, but the Ghost subtyping is just so, so nice. And as you see, this is a Ducklett double grass line. They do have the Fomantis here, and I couldn't remember if this one knew superpower. I don't think it does, so that's why I shielded the first one there. But yeah, this is just hard counter city for the opponent, and they're running a very meta team there with the Chikorita and the Ducklett, and our spicy, terrible mons do not care. And we tackle down another Ducklett for the win. So GG's to the opponent. As you see, I'm chilling in like the 2500s with this team. So I definitely didn't really gain any ground with the team, but I didn't drop too much. I think I maybe only dropped like 30 or 40 elo with the team. And again, here in the next battle, we have a Slugma. And this time I actually go for the Energy Ball just because I did see quite a few Slugmas and they all did shield. So the moves are the same energy, so you might as well go for the Energy Ball for that chance at the defense drop. And this time the opponent actually stays in, and they've nearly taken out 2 of my mons here with their dang rock throw damage. And fortunately, we do get to a move here just barely on the Chinchou, and that is some super valuable damage there because now I'm not going to be forced to shield my Voltorb. As long as I can do some decent damage here with the Charge Beams, again, I'm just going to call the Bubble Beam. They usually do like to bait, and this time they actually don't bait, but now I do have the Litwick here, and I should be able to shield up once and then fully farm them down. And again, they've already shown me that they have 2 pretty good answers to my fire types, so once this is gone, I am fully expecting there to be something weak in the back. And sure enough, there is the Bulbasaur. And again, this is not a mon that has normal type moves, but its coverage move is a poison type move, which is also going to be resisted by the Ghost type. We're going to shrug off the Sludge Bomb. It still does do quite a bit of damage, but we're able to tank that without a shield and still sweep the backline with the Litwick. So again, does not matter. Chikorita, Bulbasaur, Cottony, you name it, the Litwick is going to fully wall it. And the opponent has a Cottony lead here, which is not great for us. And I do bring in the Tackle Litleo, and the opponent actually stays in for quite a while there. And this is going to allow us to put some pressure on this Ducklett. And I know that since the opponent chipped me, if I didn't get the defense drop there, which I don't, I'm actually not going to be able to take Switch here because they would actually outpace me to another Bubble Beam. So I just let it go down. And now I'm going to get a very nice farm down here with my Voltorb. And this is just a Bubble Beam. Again, I do not like to shield Bubble Beam, so we let that go. And we're going to be hoping here that our Litwick can sweep the back line here in. I don't throw my energy here since I'm debuffed. I just let them throw, and now I'm going to bank that energy and hopefully be able to use it later when it's not debuffed. And the opponent is running ABA Grass. They've got a Shadow Oddish in the back. We completely shred them with Embers, and this Cottony is in for a world of hurt right now. We actually do go for the Flame Charge just to guarantee that our Embers are going to be enough to take this thing out, because those resisted charms actually are chunking us there. And yeah, the opponent there realizes it's over and just surrenders. So another GG, another common grass line just shredded by the Litwick there. And another time here we have a bad lead. And again, you're going to see this tackle Litleo just put in so much work. Guys, I took switchback from probably 6 or 7 Chinchows just because when you no-shield that Bubble Beam, it lulls them into a false sense of security that they can tank your move and not be in danger of being farmed down. But as you see, we land the crunch, the debuffed crunch, and we still tackle down a water type with our fire type. And now their poor Bulbasaur, as you guys have seen, is just going to be completely walled by the Litwick here. Sludge Bomb does not matter. Seed Bomb, it does not matter. Vine Whips are resisted. We tank the Sludge Bomb. We're going to farm them down, and they have a Shadow Duck in the back. And now I can just get their shield here and then just bring in the Voltorb and probably not even throw a move here. I can probably just Charge Beam them down, completely fully Charge Beam them down. And yeah, they realize that, and they surrender. And we take out another basic bitch Mon there. And I think we have maybe 2 more battles here, so finally another good lead here, another Chinchou, and the opponent brings in a quick attack Vulpix, and this is exactly why the Litwick's on the team, because it does not matter again whether they go for the single resisted Weather Balls or the double resisted Body Slams, and the quick attacks again are double resisted as well. We're just going to fully wall everything. As you see, that second Weather Ball does get us pretty low, but they're going to have to give up a shield if they want to take us out here, and I can just, if they were to shield that, I could just shield up their next move and fully Ember them down. So very comfortable mid-game matchup there. And again, we fully wall this Chinchou, so we have the perfect answer for it here with the Voltorb. And we're just going to basically probably force them to switch out. And if this is another double grass line, then they're going to be very, very sad when they see the Litwick. Actually, I guess it wasn't a double grass line because they had a Vulpix, but I typically didn't see too many double fire lines just because there's so many Duckletts out there that a lot of people were hesitant to run the double fire line. So at this point, I actually was expecting there to be a grass type in the back, and sure enough, there's the Cottony. The Chinchou fire grass backline was another very common team that this team just absolutely destroys, because I think we can just go straight for flame charges here, yeah, and the tackles are going to do so much more damage after this flame charge goes off that I probably will just need to go for a crunch here. And we actually do lag, which scared me a little bit in live time. I thought I might get farmed down there, but yeah, crunch is going to be more than enough for this Cottony. And we actually might, yeah, we don't even need the, yeah, we just, I don't know what I'm saying here, guys. We had the move banked on the Voltorb, but yeah, we take that game there. And I believe this is going to be the very last battle, guys. So again, I'm sorry about the boring teams that the opponents are running. Like I said, it's just like the same 5 to 10, maybe not even 10 Mons in this cup. Just all the same stuff. Nobody's running any spice. And this time the opponent actually does build up to a Brave Bird. But again, Brave Bird me, opponent, you won't. And they actually go for an Aerial Ace. But again, they do not full send the nuke. So I'm able to get to a move. And since they shielded that, I'm now just going to bring in the Litleo. And since they actually showed me they're running Aerial Ace, I'm thinking it's probably Aerial Ace Brave Bird. So yeah, I did expect the Brave Bird there. So I shielded up, and the opponent has another Chinchou. And this time, I'm actually going to go for the Crunch on CMP to prevent them from over-farming. And the opponent actually does shield that. And now I'm recognizing, since they took a minute to switch out, I think I can actually shield this up and actually CMP tie them to another Crunch. And here you're going to see me make a very high-level play. I actually don't want to take them out here because I don't want whatever they have in back to come in and farm down. So I undercharge that perfectly, and I leave a sliver of HP on them. I let myself get taken out, and now I can bring in my Litwick and get a very slight energy head start. And it actually is not going to end up mattering, as you're going to see, because the opponent does have a Bulbasaur in the back, which again is fully walled by my Litwick. And they try to catch there. And I do just go ahead and throw my move here. No reason to take any unnecessary wing attack damage. And as you're going to see here, I could have tanked the Sludge Bomb, but I wanted to flex on the opponent. So I make the catch on the Voltorb. We sack it, and now we're going to just Ember them down for the win. I think I could have taken the Sludge Bomb there, but I just did not want to take any chances. And that is a GG, and apparently I don't know what happened to my Pikachu Libre little backdrop that I had there, but I'll have to make sure I get that back up for the next video. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. At the time of me recording this video, we are sitting around like 972 subscribers, so we are super close to 1K, guys. So thank you all so much for your support, and if you have not, hit that like button and definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because I'd really love to get above 1K here in the next day or so. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Like I mentioned before, I will have some spicy battles on CallumOnToast channel here in probably the next day or so, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And without any further ado, again, if you are not subscribed, please consider doing so, because the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.